Morning, all. So, some news out of the NHL today, and we're going to have some more news coming soon, I would think. The Nate Schmidt deal apparently still in place. We just aren't quite sure when that's going to happen. I'm thinking that's right after Pietrangelo signs with Vegas. Then we find out where Nate Schmidt's going. Jimmy Vesey has signed a 1-year contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs for $900,000. This is one of those signings. There's no risk. There's no downside to this. It's $900,000, and for 900 grand, they get Jimmy Vesey. Remember back when this channel was starting up? So 4 years ago now, that there was this huge bidding war on Jimmy Vesey, and Vesey was going to be a star, and then the Rangers won that, and he was going to be a star. Remember what happened with that? Well, now Vesey's got a chance in Toronto. Absolutely no pressure, and sure. And if you're a Leafs fan and you're looking for other good news, Mikko Lehtinen, KHL Defenseman of the Week. So, things look pretty good right now if you're Toronto, depending on, well, which media you follow or which fan you talk to, or, because again, I can understand there are people who are probably looking at a lot of these moves and going, well, that's not going to help. That's not going to fix it. We're realizing that the core, Kyle Dubas has already said the core's not changing, so he's going out and he's getting guys to fix everything else on this team. And so far, I think he's done a good job. Now, the reason that I'm wearing a Chicago Blackhawks jersey is they signed Matthias Janmark today to a 1-year, $2.25 million contract. $2.25 million that they saved by trading Brandon Saad, who is a UFA next year, and who some think is throwing shade by saying he's glad to go to Colorado because he has a chance to win a championship, and it's easier the second time around being traded by Chicago. And, every player when they go to a new team says, I came here to win. I came here for a chance to win. Well, really, I'm here because I have a chance. They don't say, well, yeah, I could have gone there and won, but did you see how many dollars I'm getting from this team? I had a hard time keeping a straight face while I was signing the contract. These guys are morons. This is fine, though. It is great. This is my new Hummer. I'm planning to blow this up and buy another one next week because they just keep giving me more money. So, honestly, I think Janmark going to Chicago is another sign that this whole rebuild thing that all of a sudden is all over the place. No. Janmark's a good defensive forward. He's a good third line guy. And I swear by all that's holy, if his hands ever catch up with the rest of his body and with the rest of his game, he's a 20-goal scorer. If he ever gets back to that. The last couple of years have been tough. He did have a major injury that set him back along the way. And now it's a matter of, maybe a change of scenery will help him. I wish him the best. I do. And I think it's a good signing for Chicago. Again, he's a good depth player. He is a skilled guy, and he's a good penalty killer. He's a good defensive player. I think Chicago fans are going to like him. I do. Now, Vegas has come out and said that Derek Engelland, who they did not give a new contract offer, they decided they were moving on from him, that if he decides to retire, they have a job for him. And I think that's kind of nice. His agent has said he is considering all of his opportunities and all of his choices along the way. But, of course, I don't know. Engelland lives in Vegas, has been a Vegas resident for a long time. So I would be very surprised if he doesn't end up just retiring and having a job in Vegas. And I think that's honestly probably the best move at this point. But again, because he lives in Vegas, and at this stage in his career, he'd be a number 7 defenseman if he went somewhere else. I don't think it would be a lot of money. If he went somewhere else, it'd be a league minimum deal. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably not going to make $700,000 in whatever job they're offering him, but he's still going to be in Vegas. So we'll see what he does. So with arbitration coming up pretty quick here, where teams and players have to sit down and haggle in front of an arbitrator over how much money a guy should get paid, and an arbitrator decides on how much they do get paid. When those hearings start, they are no longer allowed to negotiate. So in past years, you could get to the arbitration date, you could start negotiating, and then the team and the player could sit down during that process and say, why don't we just figure out this contract? All right, so we'll offer you this. Good, we're done. They're not allowed to do that anymore. Once the arbitration hearing starts, they cannot negotiate a new contract. This came out, Cap Friendly alerted us to that today on Twitter. So we will see more deals being struck between restricted free agents and teams before those hearings start. A lot of posts on Twitter today about teams being close to deals with restricted free agents, and that's why you don't want to have to deal with the whole arbitration process at all if you can avoid it. Alexis Lafreniere has signed his entry-level contract, and he'll wear number 13. The number 11 that he wore in juniors is retired by the New York Rangers. And since he's not Messier, he won't argue he needs to wear it. So Lafreniere will be number 13, and I wish him the best. It'll be interesting to see how things go for him this coming season, and for the Rangers, of course. I think their fans are kind of excited about having Lafreniere, I think. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes for them. And rumors are out there, too, that Corey Schneider could be headed to the Islanders, which, and again, you know, fans want to dump all over Corey Schneider and say, oh, you know, the guy's a bum, and why would you do this? Look, the Islanders, how many reclamation projects have they taken on now in net? And Mitch Korn has made it work. I don't even know if Corey Schneider cares if he plays as much as just proving he still can. And if he can go to the Islanders and have Mitch Korn dealing with him, clearly the best goaltending coach in the National Hockey League. And, you know, for Corey Schneider, he's you know, been brought in by Lou Lamoriello before. Lou Lamoriello's well aware of what Corey Schneider can do. I think it's a natural match. I think it works. And then for Sorokin, if he's not ready, then Schneider can be the backup to Varlamov. And as much as people want to chuckle now and say that tandem's gonna suck, I remember when Stalock was on the junk heap. I remember when Dubnyk was on the junk heap, and you know, now he's back on it again. And I seem to remember certain goaltenders that over the years were laughed at and ridiculed, and then they'll turn around. Now, for Schneider, he's a bit older than some of those guys were at the time. But I look at Schneider coming in the same as when Grace went to the Islanders. And so this is another challenge, and I think he can do it. I do. And as a fan of Corey Schneider, I hope he does. Now, other news that's out there is apparently the Islanders are working on trading Johnny Boychuk to create more cap space. And would Boston look at bringing Johnny back for 1 year? That's a question I do actually ask myself, because they've lost Chara, they've lost Krug, and Johnny Boychuk is no longer the defenseman he was when Boston lost him. But there might be a fit there on the third pairing with Johnny Boychuk. It's an expensive third pairing. So I'm wondering if what holds it up might be, you know, salary retention by the Islanders. But it'll be interesting to see if Boychuk does go, and if he went back to Boston, that wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Again, as the third pairing defenseman, sure. And if the Islanders retain some cap, sure. It doesn't make up for losing Krug and Chara, absolutely not. But we are where we are. So there you go. That's the news so far today. I will be here to discuss what else happens today. For viewers of this channel in the great country of Canada, don't forget it's Thanksgiving today. Don't forget, and happy Thanksgiving to you. It's easy to forget because it's 2020 and every day and every month just kind of blurs together. So, yeah, happy Thanksgiving to people on the northern side of the border, and Americans. Yours is still a ways away. So don't worry. Don't jump out of your seat. Oh, Thanksgiving, I forgot. Is it November already? No. Nope. It's just October. Don't worry about it. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.